This is Gemara Menachos Daf Pei Beis. And today's share has been sponsored as an incredible schos Alias Neshama for a very close friend of the Daf. We've been learning together for years, connected with the entire Mishpacha Baruch Hashem. As a schos Alias Neshama for Eliazer Moshe ben Sheiма, B'siyata Deshmaya, the incredible Kayach HaTeira should elevate his Neshama, especially on these Dafim of the Yontiv of Pesach, higher and higher, Bigan Eden Shel Maila. We're holding on Pei Aleph Amid Beis, and we are 4 lines into the white lines, as the Gemara quotes the Mishnah that teaches us Hi v'lachma min ha'maiser, that in a case in which someone says, I am bringing a carbon taida, the halacha is that the taida and the lechem, the bread, ba min ha'maiser, comes from maiser sheni yavi, it should be brought. Says the Gemara, it sounds like in the Mishnah, not that it's able to be brought from maiser. It sounds like it should be brought from maiser. Frak the Gemara, yavi, liosagi delo maisi. It sounds like it has to be. Says the Gemara, are you telling me that it's a necessity to come from maiser? Rav Nachman Rav Yichitza Amri. Rav Nachman Rav Yichitza say, Rotza, maybe lo Rotza, maybe say amend the Mishnah. That means Rotza or loy Rotza, but doesn't mean that it is a necessity. The Mishnah concluded you don't bring for the wheat of Meiser Sheni, al Mimayis Meiser Sheni. Says the Gemara, Rav Nachman Rav Yichitza Amri Tervayu, lo Yishanu. This in the Mishnah is only Ella. Mechiten al kuchais mimayis meiser sheni. Ella, excuse me, lo shanu mechiti. No, lo shanu ela mechite meiser sheni. Avu mechite al kuchais meiser sheni. One step removed, then yavi, then it can be brought. So only if it itself is meiser sheni, not if it's bought with the money of meiser sheni. So says the Gemara, Yasef Yirmiyah Gamed Rav Zeira Yasef Ikamar Lo Yishanu al Mechite Meiser Sheni, like we just saw. Avo Mechite al Kucha is B'mois Meiser Sheni. Yavi, it could be brought. Rebbe, Atona Imer Kain. Rebbe, do you really say this? Ani Imer, I say Afilu Mechite al Kucha is B'mois Meiser Sheni. Lo Yavi. I hold even the wheat that's purchased with that money. Lo yavi. Ve'ema taima didi, ve'ema taima didach. Says the Gemara, says Rav Zera, let me tell you my reasoning. Let me tell you their reasoning. E'ema taima didach. I'll start with their reasoning. Taida mecha koyalfisla. Where do we learn out the taida from? Meishlamim, as we turn over to Pei Beis Amid Aleph, Ushlamim Sham Shamim Aiser, and the Xer Shava. There we learn out the dinam of Shlamim from the dinam of Meiser, Umina, and therefore from it we learn Uma. Uma Shlamim. When it comes to the Shlamim, Ein Gufa Meiser. Avtaidanami Ein Gufa Meiser. Says the Gemara, just like the Shlamim, it is not itself Meiser. So to the Taida, Vani Chiti al Kuchais, B'mais Meiser Sheni Nami, and the money, not the money, excuse me, and the wheat that is purchased with the money of Meiser Sheni, Nami Ein Gufan Meiser, is not inherently Meiser itself, and therefore it can be used for the Lachmei Taida. That's time of Didach. Now says Razera, now that I explained your reasoning, I'll tell you my reasoning. Taida mecha keyalfin Allah, mishlamim, ushlamim sham shamei meiser. Ma shlamim ein min meiser, av taida ein min meiser. So says Rav Zera, I'll explain it to you. They're learning out from the shlamim that what? From meiser sheni. Just like the shlamim is not a type of meiser sheni, so to the taida. La'afuke, which comes to exclude chitin halekuchais and meiser sheni, only if it itself is brought from money meiser sheni, which is therefore timin meiser hu, and that's going to be the machlekes. So continues the Gemara. 10 lines down, the first word line is Meiser Ninu, Amar Rav Ami. Says Rav Ami, Hamatviz Mois Meiser Sheni L'Shlamim. So it designates Meiser Sheni money to be used for Karban Shlamim, like Kanu Shlamim. The Shlamim does not acquire the money, meaning the designation of this Mois Meiser Sheni for the Shlamim does not take effect. My taima, Deloy Alima, Kedushas Hashlam Lemeichal, HaKedushas Meiser Sheni, because the Kedusha of Shlamim is not greater, not strong enough to take hold of the Kedusha of Meiser Sheni. Meisvei, Fraktor Vami, Aloikei Achayo, Lezivchei Shlamim, Ubehema Lebasar Taiva. So when purchase, so when a Meiser Sheni, and he buys a Chaya as a Shlamim, or he buys a Behema Lebasar Taiva, literally for gratification, Lo Yatsa Ha'ar L'chulin, the hide does not become L'chulin. Says the Gemara, Lam Lebeimra, does this not seemingly indicate it doesn't become Chulin, but to Kani Shlamim, that the Shlamim acquires it, that it gets Kedusha Shlamim. So what do we see? We see a Meiser Sheni money that's set aside for the purpose of Shlamim, that it does get the Kedusha Shlamim. Itmar we learned on this, Amarav Loi Kani Shlamim. The Shlamim does not acquire the money. Umay, what does it mean? Lo Yatsa Ar L'chulin. Hachi Kamar. Einoi B'Toiras. Lattes Ar L'chulin. It's not within the conversation. It's not within the Toiras of the R going L'chulin. My time, Amarabba. We view it as if he bought an ox for plowing with Ma'is, Meiser. Itmar continues the Gemara. Hamatvis Ma'is Meiser Sheni L'Shlamim. Someone designates money on Meiser Sheni to buy a Shlamim. Rabbi Yechlan Amar Kani. Yechlan says the Shlamim is acquired by the funds. Rabbi Elazar Amar like Kani. What's this machlekes? If we hold a Meiser has the status of belonging to the owners, you can use it to buy your Shlamim. What's the machlekes? Aliba di Rabbi Meir Diamar Meiser Mamoin Gavoyahu Man Damer Laikani Karameir, is that yours? Man Damer Kani, given the Meiser Karile Shlamim Kimafis Leinami Tafis Lamaisa, it's called Meiser, and therefore you're able Kivan the Meiser Karav Karile or Karav Shlamim, since the Meiser is able to use as a Shlamim. Excuse me. Kimatfis, when you designate the money for the Shlamim, it gets a Kedusha Shlamim. So Meisvei, one last kasha on the first part of today's shiur. Hamad Mois Meiser Sheni L'Shlamim Kishu Paidin Moisav Alein Shnei Choim Shin. When you redeem, you have to add on two fes. Echel Kadesh. The Echad Meiser. One has to be added on the Kodesh, and one for Meiser. So what do we see? We see that it takes effect on the Meiser money. Says Gemara, we service different Kali Amani Rabbi Yehudi. It's according to Rabbi Yehuda, so it's not a kasha at all. And Avada, according to Rabbi Yehuda, works, as we just said a moment ago. Why? Because Meiser Mammon Gavayahu, but therefore it's not a Rayo. Says the Mishnah, how do we know the halacha if someone says, I want to bring a ta'ida sh'layavi ela min achulin? It comes from chulin and meiser sheni. Talmud loy mer, they're not from the pasuk v'zavachto besach l'Hashem l'kechos anu bakar v'loy pesach ein ba ela min akvasim u'min ha'izim kimatam loy mer. So anu bakar, what does the pasuk mean when it says the pesach can come from anu bakar? Lahakish, to equate Kol ha'aba min ha'tzed min ha'bakar le'pesach. We have a hekish, anything which does come from Seinim Bakar. We have a Hekesh to equate it to a Pesach. Ma Pesach Davar Shebechayvam. And Vein Ba Ela Menachulin. Called Davar Shebechayva Im Ba Ela Menachulin. It's only going to come from Chulin. Lefikach. On the second white line of Pei Zamir Alev Aimer. Hare Alei Toida, Hare Alei Shlamim, Ayelu Bain Chayva. Lo Yaviu. Since it is a Chiyav, Lo Yaviu Ela Menachulin, and therefore it cannot come from Meiser Sheni. Unisachim mikol makayim layavi elu menachulin. Nisachim always the libations can only come from chulin. So says the Gemara, Pesach gufe minala nadaf for the yontif of Pesach. Where do we know that the Karban Pesach has to come from chulin? The Tani we learned in a Brayz of Eli'ezer Aimer. Nemar Pesach b'Mitzrayim, Nemar Pesach l'Doros. Ma Pesach Amar l'Mitzrayim lo yavel menachulin. Pesach Amar l'Doros lo yiba'el menachulin. Amar lo Rabbi Kiva says Rabbi Kiva chidanin efshar mishi efshar can learn one for the next. Amar le aval pi shei efshar. Raya gedoylahi. It's a raya. It might not be a makor, but he's doch given a raya. V'nilmad heimenu, and you can learn out from it. Chazer Rabbi Akiva, so Rabbi Akiva was chazer. V'danu din acher, and he learned as follows. Mal lepezim v'zay shekid ein don matan damin, ve'imur l'gam mizveach. It did not require placing it 4 times. It did not require that the imurim go on the mizveach as we turn over to pay beis and beis. Timer v'ezach l'daira yishetoin matan damin, ve'imurim l'gam mizveach. So how can you equate one from the other if Pesach L'Dairais has clear distinctions in the fact that there is a din of matan damim and a murim al gam? Amar Lai, so he responds, Amar Lai, I lost the place. Amar Lai, Eli'ezer responds, Harehu, Omer, Vavatas Avodah Zois v'Chodesh Hazeh. You call avodah shel chodesh hazeh kizeh. That shows that everything is like this. Rabbi Kiva isar v'lo dein dan efshar mishi efshar. You can't learn one from the other. Efshar dein dan efshar mishi efshar. Then what? Leiku we establish him in Milsa, like he thought the other bay v'haydol gamar mi Pesach Mitzrayim b'shamay birchahu. Then Pesach Midbar Yechiach. The Varav der Eli'ezer Kamar. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Kiva said his din. There's no shayla b'chlal. According to you, the Amr don't have shemishi efsher. Mal lebezel mitzrayim shkinei turn matan damim. Pesach Mitzrayim requires matan damim emurim. Kam izveh tamer Pesach l'daira is Pesach for eternity. Shetoyin matan damim emurim legam izveh. V'amrli Rabbi Eli'ezer v'avadata. Says Rabbi Eli'ezer, I'll tell you where we learn it out from. We learn it out from v'avadata. Says the Gemara. That pasuk teaches us that it goes on. What was in Pesach Mitzrayim is applicable in Dairais. So lema le Pesach Midbar Yechiach Dvar of Rabbi Kiva Kamer le di don't have shemishafsha. I hold it's not a problem. But Mishamai Bircha Pesach Midavar Yechiach. But le di according to you, the Amrit Ein done in Efsher Mishafsher Vavanta, and therefore that works. Vashanami lefroich. Says the Gemara. Why don't we ask the same kasha? Amar Rav Sheisha, says Rav Sheisha, Zoisai Meres, Ein Meishivin al Hekish. This is where we learn out that once a Hekish is made, it has a status of Termi Sinai, and you cannot ask kashas on it at all. We're actually going to stop over here. We're going to continue with Bitar Bitza the next year, V'siyata Dishmaya.